Well, guys, it's an eventful Friday to say the least. We're down across the board in the United States stock market, and this happened about an hour ago, hour and a half ago. We got some news from President Donald Trump, and the market, well, jumped off a cliff, literally. You guys can see the S&P was coasting around 673, then boom, we dumped all the way down to 659. Now we're down over 1.3%, and QQQ, the tech heavy index ETF. This was at 613, right around all-time highs, and then boom, man, we got all the way down to 595, and now we're under $600 per share. So we're going to cover what the heck's going on with President Donald Trump, the news we got regarding China, tariffs, which, newsflash, that's what it's about. You guys probably heard about it already. I want to give you all my 2 cents here and go over stocks I'm looking at overall, what I'm doing in the market. Am I panic selling? Am I buying more? Selling my stocks, holding? What am I doing? We're going to cover all that. So hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon for my portfolio updates. I actually just posted one earlier today, the week end up, recap, whatever portfolio update. It's the end of the week update, guys. We just posted it. Go check it out. Link down below. Again, pinned in the comments. And let's get into it now. So we are down, man. We're down across the board. And this comes after, well, President Donald Trump said something regarding, China, the trade war, which essentially it's re-escalating things. We thought things were kind of smoothing over a bit, calming down a bit. I mean, it's been pretty chill the last couple of months. But yeah, we got some news today, again, that's sending the market down big time. So let me show you this right here. We can see right here, this essentially is what caused the market to go down. U.S. President Trump threatens China with massive tariff hikes over rare earth exports. So there's been a lot going on with rare earths, right? We're not going to get too into the nitty gritty about rare earths in this video, but there's a lot going on between, the U.S., China regarding rare earths. And again, President Trump is threatening massive tariff hikes. He said in a Truth Social post, which, guys, I mean, does anybody even go on Truth Social? I mean, I think I made an account like 3 years ago just to check it out, and I literally logged on once and never got back on. But does anyone even go on that? I feel like there's a lot of accounts. There are a lot of accounts on Twitter, on X, that actually just repost his Truth Social posts, whatever. Either way, he said one of the policies that we're calculating at this moment is a massive increase of tariffs on Chinese products coming into the United States of America. There are many other countermeasures that are likewise under serious consideration. And the president, get this, guys, President Donald Trump, that is, canceled his upcoming meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping, according to the Post, people familiar with the matter. And the latest proposed tariff hikes come after China placed restrictions on its exports of rare earths materials to the United States. So again, like I said, there's a lot going on, a lot of back and forth with the rare earths, but really the market is selling off because of the uncertainty around these negotiations, the trade war, right? Things are escalating. And what does the market not like? That escalation, uncertainty, you know what I mean? And even Chinese stocks are down, rightfully so. It makes sense. The entire market's down. The U.S. market's down. Chinese stocks have to be down as well, right? Alibaba, Baidu, JD, PDD, they're all down a good chunk. The iShares, MSCI China ETF, MCHI is also down on the day. Let's see, any other live news here. It's just going over stocks selling off. Let's see, any fresh piece of news from Trump. Trump posted on Truth Social that China was becoming very hostile and sending letters to countries throughout the world that they want to impose export controls on each and every element of production having to do with rare earths. We can see here I was to meet President Xi in 2 weeks at APEC in South Korea, APEC that is, but now there seems to be no reason to do so, right? So yeah, man, this is it's not shocking the market. This is not like shocking news. Oh, wow, the trade war is re-escalating a little bit. Who would have thought with President Donald Trump in office and, the Chinese President Ping, right? Who would have thought? I mean, everybody saw this coming, right? Nobody knew or nobody thought that we were just going to get a peaceful agreement and things were going to, smooth over forever, right? We all knew that eventually something like this was going to happen. And with President Donald Trump, pretty unpredictable in certain ways, it's so obvious that we're going to see a day like today where we get a tweet or a truth post or this or a re-escalation in the trade war and the market drops. This is so predictable. You can't predict what day it's going to happen, but it's so obvious that we were going to get something like this where President Trump tweets or goes on truth or does this or that. It's just the day and age of modern, politics now. And with Trump, leading the office, you guys know how he does it. He goes right to X and Twitter. He was doing that last term. So this isn't surprising. This is not surprising. That's what I'm getting at. And the market, honestly, man, it's funny because we were talking about this, how September was great, historically bad, and the market, it just kept on going up this month as well in October. And we were saying how the market was begging for a reason to sell off. It's been looking for a reason to sell off. We had a little red yesterday. You guys saw that. And today, really, man, we got a nice red candle. And you might be like, Stas, why are you saying nice red candle? What are you talking about? It's because we needed a healthy pullback, and we finally freaking got it. Look, we're still above the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart here on SPY, maintaining that level that has been support for months, right? That's a good spot. We're pulling down to that level, and we can see QQQ's doing the same exact thing. So when I'm looking at these charts, guys, it's like, why would anybody panic? This is honestly a great way for the market to sell off. Or maybe not a great way for the market to sell off, but again, it was begging for a reason. We got it, and now it's like, all right, we'll see what comes over the next couple of days about these rare earths. But the reality is, man, the market is probably going to forget about this this news when it comes to next week, unless things get worse over the weekend. That's always a possibility, or next week. But I feel like this little sell-off is just a little blip. We might consolidate or even sell off a little bit more, but I think we'll end up consolidating here, and this could end up being the nice little dip we need before we get a nice run to wrap the year up. You know what I mean? That's what this could be. And we finally got the pullback. And not every stock is selling off today, guys, believe it or not. We have some some movers. Beyond Meat, which I think is a garbage company. It's it's one of those stocks now. It's a penny stock, but it's moving, man. 12%. It's moving. OKLO. It's also going all-time highs today. It's like, what the heck's going on here in this market, man? OKLO, 12% green day, as stocks in general are crashing. So this one's approaching, again, all-time highs, but also approaching a level now where I'm going to consider shorting it. If it gets anywhere near 175, $200, which we're at 155 now, guys. I don't know if it's going to get to 200, but if it does, I'm going to buy puts, or even if it gets to like 175 in the short term. I think that's just ridiculously overbought. But hey, it's up on the day. Who would have thought? It's up on the day. Roblox is also moving on the day, which the chart's not looking so pretty on Roblox, but hey, it's up. It's up over 2%, and Nike is down. Guys, Nike, you guys probably remember my my put options on Nike. I locked in the profits on those today. I made a decent amount of money on those Nike puts, and the reason is because we're getting I think a little too oversold. So I was in the $70 puts on Nike that expire in December, right? And I think we're getting a little too beaten up here. I think in the short term, you guys probably remember I was saying I think Nike's going to fill the gap to about $63 to $64, $65 roughly, which that was the high from May all throughout June, the end of June. So I was saying, I think that is where we're going to pull down to. And we got pretty dang close today, guys. We got pretty dang close. We got to the 65s today on Nike, man. So I ended up locking in those profits, and I'm now looking for a potential re-entry when the time is right. The thing with puts, man, options in general, your timing has to be good, and your exit has to be smart as well. I easily could have held these Nike puts hoping for, Nike to go down even more from 66 to, let's say, 64 a share, but it's already down $10 a share, $11 a share from just a couple days ago post earnings. So logically, I'm like, yeah, I think I think we're going to get a pullback, or a rebound rather, before more red. Even though logically I'm like, all right, Nike longer term, I feel like the stock price could go lower. I just feel like it's smarter now to lock in the gain after a $10 drop in the stock, after we kind of filled that gap that we were talking about. Now let's see, okay, is Nike going to rebound, maybe get a relief rally? If so, if we get a rally back to $70 a share, 72, I could buy puts again there. Or let's say, for example, we flush through 65 and go straight to 60. I could buy puts there again, but I just don't think we're going to see this go straight to 60 right now. I just think it's too oversold in the short term. I think a little rebounds due before we go down to 60, and that's why I locked in the profits. And now I'm looking for re-entry. But yeah, I made about like 20% on those puts. Nothing too crazy, but I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I like it. I held them for not too long, about a month in those puts, and they worked out. So that is a quick update there, and I just realized I'm rambling. We're in here 12 minutes. Let's wrap the video up. Let's wrap it up. It's a red day, man, but sometimes red days are good, especially if you have cash on the sidelines waiting to buy more stock. If you have put options open, which I like to have some puts open when the market's frothy, or whenever we're near all-time highs, whenever I think an individual stock is a little too hot, I like having some puts in the portfolio to balance things out a little bit. And yeah, man, it makes days like today not as bad, not as ugly, if you will, because you have some positions going up, like the Nike puts in this case. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join my Patreon for my real-time portfolio updates. We do 2 updates a week, and whenever I'm buying stocks, rebalancing, I post those updates as well, obviously. So pretty much you get to see everything I do in my real money portfolio. We're buying stocks every week, $500 worth of stocks a week, and we're blowing that portfolio up in a good way. Check it out, link down below on Patreon, pinned in the comments as well. And with that being said, I'll see you in there. Peace out.